Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for checking out my channel. So if you've watched some of my videos, you know I'm a sucker for buying cheap outboard motors. So I got another one here. So this is a 2 horsepower. It's a Spirit outboard made by Suzuki. You know, it's pretty faded, but never heard of Spirit until I did a little more research. So yeah, actually this motor I believe is a 1970s, sometime around then. And then actually the makeup of the motor is like the same components of Suzuki 2 horsepower from the 70s, 80s, 90s, maybe even early 2000s. But yeah, it's this little short shaft. Pick it up for 20 bucks. Don't know much story about it, so yeah, let's start working on it. I already started to do a little bit of work to it, so I'll show you what I've done so far. There's just a handful of screws that hold on this plastic cover here that I've already undone. So you can see, I mean, there's a lot of cobwebs, a lot of dirt. So far, when I started testing it, it didn't have any spark. And so here's the old stop button. I mean, you can see it's pretty old and some corrosion that I took apart already. And I hooked up a new stop button here that I had lying around. And that didn't quite seem to fix the issue of no spark. So let me take off the flywheel here and let's dig into the coil and see what's going on. These stop buttons are pretty easy to hook up. This pretty much goes for all outboard motors. You just got a red and a black wire coming off the stop button. Then you just follow the red one up to, this is the ignition coil wire, and that hooks up to the red one that I spliced here. And then the black one that comes off the stop button just gets grounded to somewhere on the motor. So there's just a few bolts holding on this flywheel and this gas tank that I need to remove here. So if you take that off, and now just a couple screws that need to be undone here. So there's just 3 screws here that I've already undone, and then this little like gold piece, and then there's a 17mm nut holding this on here that take off. And then this, luckily it's such a small motor, I don't even think I need a flywheel puller. Probably just like pry it off. What you can do is, I just have some 10mm bolts lying around. I'm just gonna kind of create my own flywheel puller here. Just screw those in a bit on all 3 of these. And then just have some long pliers here that I can just kind of get a little leverage, pop out. There we go. I wanted to say thanks to this dude on TikTok. His name is Pete's Fleet. I saw his video working on a similar motor like this, and this fixes no spark issues. So thanks, man. Appreciate the tip. So yeah, these contacts right down in here, right there, there's a lot of tension on it, but those are corroded, and I hit it with a little bit of vinegar and just a wire brush and clean that off, and now I have spark on my motor. Yeah, so after cleaning off those contact points, so now I got spark. Yeah, it's good spark too. And yeah, the motor's nasty. Obviously it needs a carb clean, but I just want to see if it's gonna fire up with a little bit of starting fluid sprayed into the carburetor here. Let's see what she does. Impeller's probably destroyed. Alright, so let's take this carb off and clean it. Looks like there's just 1 bolt holding this little clamp piece on, and I think this carb should be able just to slide right off. Alright, so we got the carb here, got the 2 screws off holding it. Have a feeling this thing's gonna be nasty, if I can even get it off. There's literally dirt that came out of there. Oh my god, there's so much dirt in this bowl. Wow. Okay, well, let's clean these jets and just really clean out all this dirt, and also I think this thing will be running. Yeah, so let's clean this jet in here. Again, if you see my videos, I clean a lot of carbs, get the right size flathead, for these because they're made out of brass and you will damage them. Yeah, there's a lot of dirt, completely impacted. Yeah, definitely wear safety glasses if you're gonna spray carb cleaner. I've got it in my eye and it's not fun. Definitely on these like smaller carburetors, invest in some of these micro drill bits. These jets are so small, passages can clog so easily. Yeah, this carb would be great for an ultrasonic cleaner, which I really need to invest in because there's just so much like caked on rust and stuff. So I'm just gonna hit it with a Dremel with the little grinding wheel here and just kind of clean up all this little caked on bits. Yeah, so this needle is actually stuck in there. I took off the little float bracket piece here. Just a little 8mm nut holding that on that I've already loosened. So let's just clean this as well. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Yeah, this tank is super nasty. I drained it, so I gotta clean this. Okay, I got the carb cleaned and installed. Cleaned the tank, got some fresh 2-stroke oil in there. Actually broke the fuel selector here, but I had one off of an old Nissan. And then the old fuel lines were so brittle, they were just breaking in my hand, and had some old lines off of an old Honda. So yeah, let's fire it up. Why I love 2-strokes. I bet this thing hasn't ran in like 10 years and all it needed was like a carb clean. Stop button should work. Alright, so I got the cover on this Spirit Suzuki 2-horsepower motor. And it's pretty beat up, but so it's actually missing this plastic cover piece here. So I actually took an angle grinder and cut a piece off of an old like cover on a weed whacker here. Kind of matches the color, but yeah, I think that's, at least it keeps it waterproof since the spark plug is behind here. Alright, so I'm changing the impeller here. It's actually just located behind the prop. Here's the old one. It has a couple broken fins since it wasn't peeing much water. So it actually just pees like a little bit of stream out of here. It doesn't have like a telltale pee hole like traditional outboards. So yeah, I wasn't peeing anything out of here. So I got a new impeller. So let's change this. Fun part about working about motors in the backyard is mess with my dog. Real light mist with this new impeller, but that's how it's supposed to be.